I'm not sort of the stereotype of the computer science professor who was taking apart radios and building robots at age 10. I was playing with Barbies, and I'm very proud of that, as well as Legos and doing experiments. I'm from a suburb of Brussels in Belgium, and I grew up in a family of 6 kids. I was always very curious and sort of exploratory and creative. I wasn't the sort of the person that was like studying hard and so on. I was terrible, actually. I didn't usually open my backpack with my books until I was on the bus on the way to school the next morning. I was very interested in plants, so I would go to the Royal Greenhouse in Brussels and cut off little pieces of plants and then try to make them grow in my room, and it was very exciting. Well, my father died very young, at 52, when I was 19. The thing on my mind was I do have to make money. And at that time, actually, there was sort of an economic crisis in Europe, the oil crisis in the late 70s. And I thought, well, computers seem to be this field of the future, and I thought, well, maybe if I study computer science, I'll definitely get a job, even though there's a crisis and nobody else is getting jobs. And it's a way of avoiding making a choice about and locking myself into one discipline, because computer science is really something that you can apply in all these different areas. I don't want to have a boring job in a company. I want to be able to keep being creative and explore things. I was always very curious, and that was my reason for going more into academia. There was this draw to MIT because it was this mecca, really, this place where all of this amazing research was happening. So initially, when I studied artificial intelligence, I sort of joined in this mission to try to create smart machines, smart robots, and so on. I worked on 6-legged robots that had to teach themselves to walk by doing experiments and so on. It was exciting, but at some point, and that was when I already was here at MIT, I decided, well, actually, I don't want to build smart machines that one day may surpass us. I don't find that to be an exciting goal for the rest of my life. And so instead, I decided that I would work on helping people get smarter. At that time, I also moved from what was then the AI laboratory at MIT to take up a position as a faculty member at the media laboratory, because the media lab is sort of more about how cutting-edge technologies might improve people's lives, recreate that diversity of backgrounds, diversity of disciplines, and so on. The work that we do can be so much more impactful because we are not just all AI people or all electrical engineers or all designers. What sort of brings us together is that we're all very interested in how smart technologies can be used to empower people. So I'm very interested in helping people realize their potential through the use of some of these technologies.